So if you wanted to be competitive, that was the main domain that you could be competitive in. And I think if there's one thing that I know about myself, I just grew up quite a competitive person in kind of a lot of aspects, not just football. And so I suppose I was really drawn to the competitive part of football in ways that maybe some other people who were into like artistic dance or, I don't know, other little pursuits that's more about it being in an art form. For me, football was about winning and losing, and I really connected to that side of it.
Do you think the fact that, because, I mean, the women's game has progressed so much in the last 10 years, especially. But when you were in school, like primary school and secondary, I suppose, but mainly primary school, like, I mean, I'm just thinking about my own experience in primary school. There was not a girl that I can think of that played football with us at lunch. So were you like the only girl playing football with the boys, or?
There was probably one or two others, max. It definitely gave me a little bit of a chip on my shoulder. I think I was aware that I was a bit different in that respect. I knew that I was quite good. Like I knew that I was well able to keep my own. And I used to bring in the football as well. And so the person who brings in the football is always kind of the centre of it a little bit. At that age, if I got to choose what my interests were, you know, I probably would have preferred to do the things that girls were more seen to be doing. But I just couldn't help myself. I just really liked football. So I just kind of found myself drawn to it, even if I was the only one, really.
And do you think if you say if you did go into like netball, say if that was the ball that you fell in love with at the age of 1, a netball, and obviously that's netball in school is mainly female orientated. So do you think if you did start with a sport like that, do you think you would have got to the level you're at now, or do you think it helped having that chip on your shoulder where you were like, I'm gonna play better than the boys. I'm gonna stick it to them. Do you know what I mean?
That is such a good question. I think something about netball in particular is that when you're like, would you believe netball actually has a professional league now? Like it is such a thing that you can be a professional netballer in this country. That's quite cool. When I look at the build up of them women, like it's kind of a bit similar to basketball. Like you've kind of got it genetically, or it's going to be a bit tough. And so something about netball is that, you know, you've got to be quite tall. You've got to be quite built vertically. And so I don't know whether I would have fitted into netball because I'm just not really that tall. And I think to go on what your main point was, does having a bit of a chip on your shoulder help? Probably. It probably does serve a little bit. And it's actually only in the last few years where women's football has started to become a bit more normalised, where I realised that actually there isn't really a chip anymore.